So geology is a field-based science. What that means is we gather data, we look for patterns in nature, and we do that outside. And so a part of this course, a necessary part of the course, and really a highlight, if not the best part of the course, is getting outside and doing some geology on field trips. And so the course requires 2 field trips. And so what I'm going to do here is discuss how you go about satisfying that field trip requirement. There are really 3 options, and what I'm going to go over here is laid out in detail in the Module 13 and 14 assignments. In fact, some of the images I'm going to show here are taken directly from those assignment web pages. You can complete these field trips anytime during the semester, but they need to be finished, they need to be completed by the end of Modules 13 and 14. One field trip, at least one done by the end of 13, and the other done by the end of Module 14. So there's 3 ways to complete these field trips. One is you can go with an instructor. You can go with me on a field trip. And the schedule for those are given in the course schedule, and it's here. There's one field trip I'll be leading on October 4th at 8:30 a.m. to A Mountain, also known as Sentinel Peak, and the other is November 15th, also at 8:30 to Sweetwater Wetlands, which is on the west side of Tucson. Going on an instructor-led field trip is relatively straightforward. You just show up and participate, and you're done. There's nothing there to turn in. If these dates don't work for you, or you prefer to do it on your own, that's perfectly fine. There are a couple of options to do self-guided field trips. Okay, you can do a self-guided field trip to A Mountain. If you can't make October 4th, you can do a self-guided field trip to A Mountain, and we provide some resources to help you do that. Or you can do a self-guided field trip to kind of anywhere else you like, as long as it's geologically relevant. So let me give you a little bit more information on those 2 options as well. So one option is to do a self-guided trip to anywhere you like, basically anywhere that's useful for the class and that you'll get something out of. And so what we call that is a design your own field trip, and we offer a bunch of instructions and a bunch of suggestions for places to go and a bunch of resources about those places for you to do a little bit of research ahead of time. So if you live near Tucson, we give you a bunch of suggestions. There are others. These are not the only places you can go. You can come up with somewhere else too. If you don't live near Tucson, that's perfectly fine too. I'm sure there's somebody or some geologically interesting place not too far from you. So just contact me beforehand, and we will discuss what you have in mind just to make sure that you'll get something useful out of it when you go. So one option is to design your own field trip to kind of a place of your choosing. Another option, the other, is to do a self-guided field trip to Sentinel Peak, also known as A Mountain. Here, again, we provide a bunch of resources to help you do a little bit of research beforehand. And we provide a cell phone-based tool. It's not an app exactly, but it's a link that you can bring up, and if you have GPS enabled on your phone, you can actually use it to help guide you around a mountain, and has photos and descriptions, and it really helps you get to the right place to see the most interesting geology there. So those are the options. Back to this, you can go on an instructor-led field trip on October 4th or November 15th. You can do a self-guided trip to A Mountain, or you can do a self-guided trip to somewhere else of your choosing. So these 2 options, A Mountain and the self-guided trip to wherever, both require that you do a number of things there. Take some photos, take some notes, do some research ahead of time, and prepare a short field trip report that you'll submit to me in order to get credit. The instructor-led field trips are a bit easier in that you really just have to show up and participate. And I do that on purpose because I really want to encourage you, if you can, to go on the instructor-led trips on October 4th or November 15th. Having someone knowledgeable there will, I think, provide you an overall better experience on the field trip. So please consider that. All right, that is the deal with the field trips. If you want to, or you can get started on these anytime during the semester, and this information that I showed here and much more is available for you to view anytime in the Module 13 and 14 assignment pages. Okay, great. If you have any questions, let me know.